Susie.
I thought you were going to go spooky, but then it sort of became
It was
uplifting.
like a mellow.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, this is nice. It's kind of like
nice.
a different kind. It's kind of like the how our cool down is usually at the end. But
You're
I'm starting it
right.
off on a
Oh my
mellow
God, it's
note.
like Memento. We're in reverse.
Ooh. Leave us a review. Tell your friends.
Right. Don't forget to subscribe.
And what the heck
funny.
episode is this?
Oh, this is 461.
461. How you doing, Suze?
Oh my God. I cannot believe how long we have been making this show.
Oh, really? I thought you were going to say how long it has been since, like, we've embraced.
Yeah, I think about that
but
a lot,
that
too. Yeah.
461 episodes. Who would have thought?
It's a lot of talking.
And I always think that there isn't going to be more to talk about. But guess what?
And there is.
There always is. Mm-hmm. It's like,
I
don't know
we're getting
anything.
good. I think we're just getting started.
I agree.
Okay,
because
good.
now we're like putting the pieces together and everything.
That's what
is like,
I feel like.
right? And we can like cite. I mean, one of my favorite things to do is if you listen to this podcast long enough, you can absolutely see, I don't know, maybe some of the correlations or connections that we make or conclusions we come up with or some other word that starts with the C. Based on the other studies that it's just like a lot of practice in, what is that kind of thinking that you're critical thinking.
Yeah.
What's that word I can't think
Another
of?
C word.
Oh my gosh.
And I feel like by episode, let's say 1,000, we will know the meaning of life.
Probably. I
I'm
mean,
gonna put
don't
that
hold us
into
to
the
it
universe.
or anything.
Hey, by
But,
the
like-
way, that just reminded me because I said I'm going to put that into the universe.
Yeah.
What are you still a vision board kind of gal?
Oh my gosh. I feel, Susie, this is a great question. And I've never really thought about this until this exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
Ren and I started vision boards.
Okay.
We both cut out the pieces to it. And
I
then we
remember
were
this.
like, we need more than just this. I only had like a couple. And then we were both saying like, not a lot of diversity in the OC Weekly, magazine. So like we need, which is Orange County Weekly
Right.
and you can just guess how they're there. So, or you don't have to guess, they'll tell you. And so, so we were like, oh, we'll just like wait till we get some more magazines. And so I got the magazines. He brought some from his house. I have them in a stack. We've cut out some photos. They're still in a pile and have not been put together yet.
Okay.
It's like our vision boards were put on pause in the same way life was.
Oh, that's
What?
kind of sad.
I know. I feel like we should just finish those fucking vision boards.
What made me ask you is how did you see, Tori from the show is engaged?
Oh, yes.
And that she had put on her New Year's Eve vision board, like, about she wanted to meet the man of her dreams and all that jazz.
Aww.
And I was like, it just got me thinking about vision boards. Mm-hmm. I'm not a vision board kind of gal, but if it works for you, I think it's great. So you're still on the train.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I do now drive a car that was on my vision board.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I know that's just like, oh, I like that car and I want to get it. But, like, it's a car that I would have, it was like, it's like,
Yeah,
my
you
dream
had
car.
to. Yes, exactly. I get that. Okay.
You
If
know,
you were making
so.
it today versus when you started your vision board, do you think it would be different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have. And you know what? The one thing that I did glue on there was a picture of a national park.
Oh, my God. That's fun.
Yeah, I should just take a picture of, like, what I have on there. It's just
Yes.
like, yeah, and I totally will complete this. That would be for full circle. It's
Yeah.
like, I really
Okay.
shout do that.
I was just
I
curious.
mean, we're damn near coming up on the end of the year. Are you a believer in vision boards?
Not anything mystical, but I think that if you really kind of get your thoughts organized and realize what you truly
Right.
want, that it does help you move in that direction.
Yeah, and it's like anything that we talk about on here. Like, if you look at the elements to why that would work,
Yeah, it's not magic.
it's not magic here. It's
Yeah.
not like vision boards. Like, that's the part that I don't like about, like, tying things up with, like, in, like, I mean, you'd think I would like the
Yeah.
spooky package, but
Right.
spooky package.
There it is. But
Yeah.
what I'm not so much into is the type of people who tend to do it. No offense.
Yeah, because it's like preachy.
And it's very like white lady.
Yes.
You know.
Well, and now that I've read, some fucking books, and like, I realize how much of that is almost just it's like we're taking like tribal knowledge and just repackaging it and selling it as like,
right.
Modern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Gwyneth Paltrow goop stuff, I'm like,
Yes,
okay.
exactly. And those are the same people that are into those things.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Yeah.
It tends to be a certain type, right?
Yeah.
She goes to Starbucks.
Yes.
She calls her friends, "Hey, mama."
We'd call them basic bitches.
Basically.
Yeah. But I did see recently some people some people who were calling out those who like October and Halloween and like get all witchy in that season as basic.
Really?
And I'd like to push back on this.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I mean, that's it, pretty much. That's it.
Well,
it's like me pushing back.
Okay,
no,
Sarah.
just because I feel like now it's more like it becomes appropriate for me to do all the things that I like to do anyway. I'm like, oh, good. Now I can just like say it's like because of spooky Halloween.
Don't you think though that what they're really saying is about this spice? What's it called? Pumpkin spice crowd.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're lumping witches into that.
You're probably I think I did see something that was like witch. But but hey, you know what? That's in line with history because they've been like persecuted and like, getting finger pointed at for years. So nothing has changed.
Yeah, but you're like more in the witch category. You're not so much in the like Uggs pumpkin spice category.
Correct. I do not like pumpkin spice and I wear Ugg boots. I don't. I like it in its appropriate place, like in a pie. But like I don't even like it as a scent. And I was thinking about this the other day. This is like none of the stuff that I want to talk about, and I'm just going on a tangent.
Sorry.
But I think I don't like those woodlandy or like not woodlandy, like cinnamon and pumpkin spice and those kind of fall scents because I don't live in a place where there is a fall like that.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Because I'm from Pittsburgh and that was such a fun time of year. You go to the pumpkin patch and it's chilly and you wear sweater weather.
Yeah,
and
sweater weather.
Those scents denote like that essence. So if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like if I bought like a surf beach
Oh my gosh. No, like, and I get it for the smell of sunscreen and even the smell of surfboard wax.
Yeah, I
There's
get that.
a surfboard wax called Sex Wax, and they even made it into an air freshener. Oh my God, that stuff smells so good, and it takes me right back. But I figured this out when I was thinking about like those candles, that are like scented for the different like cities and stuff like that. And I was smelling one and I was like, oh, I love the Los Angeles one, but like this one has more of like a Christmas smell, and it's like East Coast. And then I was like putting that together. So I think that's why maybe I don't like the pumpkin spice thing as much.
Yeah, it doesn't register in your memory brain part.
Yeah. But the Halloween part does, and that's like amazing. So,
I get that. But this all makes sense.
Yes.
Well, I know you... Wait.
Oh, you go first. Tell me something amazing.
No. I just want to say before you dive into what you actually want to talk about, may I encourage you to try FrameBridge to get custom pictures, framed artwork, anything that you have easily. So you can upload your pictures or your artwork. Like I showed you guys the one that I had Lincoln's painting done.
So
and
cute.
Then it looks really nice, and it's like framed like a proper piece of art, even though it's by my kid who has no talent. And so it actually elevates the piece. But it's super easy. You just upload it digitally, and then they do it. They can do a custom frame, matting, all that jazz. But it's a fraction of what you would pay at those fancy custom framing shops. just really great. And they have all different ideas too. They'll be like, how about this one? How about this one? There's all different, you can choose like the look that you like. And they have a deal for our listeners. Get started today. Frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift. Go to framebridge.com and use promo code BRAINCANDY to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code BRAINCANDY, framebridge.com, promo code BRAINCANDY. Let the experts get to work and have a good time framing your beautiful art.
Yes.
Okay, love.
All
your
right.
turn. I'm sorry.
So what? Oh no, I love it because, like, when we were talking to when we did the giveaway on our live Q&A of some of the challenge memorabilia, we were saying, wouldn't that be so cool if we put it in the frame bridge? Like, you just send it there, and then they just, like, frame it up, and then there you go.
Yeah, because
another reason why you should join that Q&A, by the way, because, like, I'm giving out
Sarah gets fast and loose with the giveaways.
Yes. I'm like, I don't have any space in this freaking tiny LA apartment. What do I got? Let me clear out. Oh, yeah, that memento from, like, the challenge in Turkey. Okay, giving it away to whoever can tell me what my favorite flavor of ice cream is. That is exactly how a winner won something.
Yeah, Amy was our winner that day, and she is a loyal brainiac. But I was jealous because the tapestry that she won is so beautiful, and like you said, would look so nice in a frame. So, yeah, join our Patreon if you want Sarah's crazy giveaways.
All right. So, I have some other things that are crazy for you.
Yes.
Do you want to hear about the cats and dominant handedness? Yes, you heard me correctly.
Okay.
Or why orange cats are so special. I was very inspired by our cat thing that we were talking about last episode.
I can't choose. They're so cats. Good. You do it.
Well, I'm going to eventually tell you both. But how about we'll start with that, like, cats are dominant-handed. Like, did you know this?
Cats are?
Yeah, like, cats prefer one hand or another.
No,
you can
I did
tell
not.
if your cat is left or right-handed.
How? Tell me.
Yeah, so this is like, there have been, which is so interesting. Again, why are we doing studies on these things? I don't understand, but there has been more than 30 studies to date on reports that cats are predominantly right-handed. It's a very small percentage. The only difference between cats and humans is that in humans, only 1% of people are not dominant-handed, and in cats, about 75% are dominant-handed. Like, you can throw something at your cat, and Mr. Miyagi will bat it away with his dominant hand. He has a dominant hand.
Why do you think that they were studying this? What do you think the value is here?
Oh, it did not say that.
Like, what do you guess, though? You always have a theory.
I know. You'd think I would... Let's think.
What could it be? What could it be?
I mean, it would probably give us more information about, like, what areas of the brain process what information. Maybe, like, I think we just love knowing what makes humans humans.
That's right. Like, whenever there's some sort of mystery about why would you study cat's handedness, it probably is about human handedness.
Yes. I'll tell you, that is why I love my favorite biological anthropologist Robert Sapolsky so much, because he did that TED Talk on the uniqueness of humans. And the truth is, we're, like, not unique at all.
Right.
And, like, a lot of the things that we think make us unique, Suze, for goodness sakes, yeah. And, like, the My Octopus teacher, that'll really, like...
Right.
Like, drive home that lesson. But a bunch of the things that we think, this is probably only
ones,
people who do this. Like, tit for tat. Like, they saw tit for tat with betta fish when all you had to do was put a mirror up to it.
Yeah.
And by changing the angle of the mirror, you can make it look like there's... And a betta fish, like, wants to charge the one in front of him. And when you put a mirror up next to him, he thinks that there's another betta fish with him. And if you angle the mirror so it looks like when he charges forward, the other fish, like, charges away, he will start to, like, not trust that other fish. And, like, you could see it happen. And it's just like his own reflection. Like, it's very easy to control because they, like, are, dumb enough to do this too. Or, But so essentially proving that, like, even fish go tit for tat. And
right.
So that not
Good
holding
to
a
know.
grudge isn't human, and so there's all these things. So I think it's probably just that.
What do you think is the reason, though, that handedness is not evenly distributed, that there's so many more right-handed people? That bothers me.
I know. It bothers me. As a left-handed person, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you can make that argument of like, oh, it's I mean, maybe for a small percentage, like the people who, were forced into a certain hand, but that they're not doing that anymore, and it's still like that. And I think that it's got to be something about the information, like what is the information that we deem like societally or as that brain was developing important that you needed to. And if it was like on that side, then that one may be developed. Mm-hmm. Like, fuck if I know. I'm making all of this up.
Yeah, we all are. Who cares?
I don't know. It's fun. The research shows that male cats are more likely to be left pod and female cats are more likely to be right.
Saying
so
that,
come on, pod. That's cute. And have you seen that picture that's floating around of the X-ray of a paw?
No.
Oh my God. I should just send it to you right now because it's the most, just Google it. It is the most adorable little thing. You're like, well, if that isn't the cutest little Halloween treat I've ever seen.
Is it a cat or a dog?
A cat paw. Just like kitten paw X-ray. There isn't anything cuter. It just is like,
oh
what?
My God.
It's adorable. And you can just
really
picture it like,
is.
I don't know. I think that's so cute.
Oh, see, that
so
makes
Google
me like
that
them even more. Yeah, that'll give you a day some
That's
spice.
it. Those are what I call them palate cleansers now. I saw that online.
Totally.
And I was like, oh, a palate cleanser. Everybody needs that.
Yeah, because that's adorable.
Yeah. So, 39% of cats right pod.
39.
And 36% left pod. And 25 had no preference. So I'd really like you to test Mr. Meowgie.
Yeah.
And give me this information.
What's your prediction?
Let me think. I'm going to go back in my mind and imagine what paw I saw him swiping something out from under. I'm going to say left.
Okay,
but
and I'll say right just for
so
fun.
would the studies, but
and maybe the audience can be ambidextrous, and then everyone can be
is represented.
Yeah, everyone's represented.
Yes,
Ooh.
yes.
It seems like they would all be ambidextrous,
like just because of necessity.
They would be.
Right, because if you're a cat, we do more items that need one hand than a cat does.
Right, that's why I can't believe that they're pawed at all.
What do you even mean by that? Oh, you mean like dominant pod? I thought you meant half paws. Oh my God. I was like, what do you want them to have, flippers? Oh my God, my brain went to a really weird place there where I was like,
because you said
what do you want?
pod.
Wings? Like, I totally get what you're saying now, which is probably why you thought that was adorable and hilarious before. Oh my God.
Yeah, so now I'm saying it because it's a great word.
Yeah, that is really funny. Oh my gosh, I have to get back on track.
Wings?
I was like, what do you mean? That's what do you want them to have? Hands? That would be creepy.
That would be awesome.
Okay. Susie?
And also scary.
Yes. Oh God. That whenever I think of talking about people having animal traits or anything like that, I always remember that study that you talked about, oh God, years ago now, where you said when kids were asked if they could change one thing about themselves,
yes,
they always say something like,
wanted wings.
I'd like wings, and I'm like, damn.
They didn't say like, I wish I had less, cuter eyes
whatever.
Or something.
Yeah. Oh God, it's so terrible. Well, that also is like supports your argument of the need for play.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and all that stuff.
Can I just say too, though, that for another palate cleanser, you should try Liquid IV.
Oh yeah, especially if you're hard playing, you need to refuel.
Yes,
Hello.
in fact, I'm having one right now because it's like 1,000 degrees in here.
Oh my God. And I was just thinking about how dehydrated I am, and I'm out because we've been camping so much. I got to restock. Luckily,
I just got a big
coming.
bag of the tangerine flavor, which is a new flavor. It's
what?
really good.
I don't even know that one. That would definitely be my favorite. That sounds like Tang.
Check your package room. There, I may have sent you some.
Yes!
But I cannot tell you what a godsend these were when I had my migraines, because part of what makes that worse is if you're dehydrated, if you're not drinking enough. And it's like the last thing you want to do is sit there drinking water all day. So this is such a great way to get hydrated quickly, because it's 2 to 3 times more hydration than just a glass of water. And then it also has vitamin C, vitamin D's, which everyone says right now we need vitamin D more than ever because it can be great for your immune system. And I just love to have them in my purse or in the car or just available for Lincoln when he's playing outside. And they have a deal for our listeners. Liquid IV's new hydration multiplier plus immune support, that's awesome, is available at Walmart, or you can order online. And if you do, you'll get the 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use our code CANDY at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code CANDY at liquidiv.com. So that's what's cool. When I opened the tangerine package today, I was like, oh my God, it has immune support too, which, we all need. Even if it's just for your friggin' hangovers. Just get it sorted, people.
You just need that from, living in L.A.
Yes.
Feel like, for goodness sakes.
Carry on, madam.
Okay, I'm trying to decide, I have some more cat information. I have some life lessons from somebody on how to master change.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, I was thinking so too. I feel like, especially because I was looking through our Brain Candy Twitter the other day, because when certain news came across Twitter, everybody was on there. So
certain news, yes.
Let me see what else is on Twitter.
Yes.
And I saw something that we were posting that said, oh, this episode's far more candy than brain. And I was like, whoa, let me give them some more brain. And this is really interesting stuff. So this article is from Psychology Today, and it is based on some research from a guy who was doing a book that he called the Life Story Project, where he was looking at information on the human experience and how to manage life transitions. And, so he found in all of his, in this Life Story Project, when he spent, years coding, people from, I'm trying to see how many people it was. He said he visited 50 states and collected hundreds of life stories of Americans of all ages and walks of life, people who had lost homes, lost loved ones, career changes, changed genders, left cults, got out of bad marriages, and then spent 3 years coding all these stories for 57 different variables, from high points to low points, and different emotions that people struggled along these different times, and wanted to track and then also got information from friends and other people that they were related to on what was most helpful for them.
That's great. I love this.
Right? Super cool. So I'm like, oh my God, this is buried.
Helpful.
And how do I, I'm like, I need this should be this should be, I don't know. I felt like I'm like, this should be passed around and go viral, because I feel like this information is so good, because he said in his research, 3 takeaways emerged. And the first one, that linear life is dead. And that the idea that our life passes through these routine stages. And he talks about how these stages were defined, and this is what happened. Some fucking white guy from 1920 said it's this, and this. And then that became the rule, and nobody said, well, why is it like that?
Yeah, right.
The stages of grief, and then we were actually, you can experience those in any order, and some of them not at all, and whatever. It's so
exactly.
Yeah, it's not like that. And so he said, we live non-linear lives, and that's dead. So it's not like we need to have one job, one relationship, one sexuality, one spirituality. That idea is dead.
Wow.
And that, if you can be flexible on that idea, then that was the takeaway. One, this is the takeaways, the first one.
Okay.
The second one is that we live non-linear lives, and we experience, at least, most of us on average will experience about 3 dozen disruptors and one every 12 to 18 months. And he said that these ones, there are some that are really severe and there's some that are like not as severe. So like maybe moving, not as severe, going through a divorce, very severe. And 1 in 10 or 3 to 5 in our entire adult life will become what he called these life quakes that lead to major, massive transitions.
That's so cool.
And understanding, because like sometimes don't you feel like it's like, I mean, we were just talking about this, Suze, like before we recorded.
Yeah.
That sometimes I feel like, oh my God, is there always something? I mean, I know we're in a global pandemic.
Right.
But it's like, there's always something.
Yeah.
But when I really look at it on a map, like on a timeline, and I'm like, 1 every 12 to 18 months, yeah, that's about accurate of what we're working with. It really takes the weight off of it for me, or did when I read this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. The one thing that I struggle with regards to the fact that life is not linear and we shouldn't sort of have that expectation is the trouble that women have because of the limited window of ovulation.
Yeah.
And pregnant, being fertile. Like,
that's a good point. I wonder this, I'm definitely going to read this book too, because this is like a summary of information from his book. And I think
there's
that,
probably a lot of details.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like I am on board with that, and I think that's a beautiful idea and so great to remember that just because you're not married by a certain age doesn't mean you won't find true love, etc. But that fucking fertility window is so finite and like not always reliable either.
And it is that that is the one that when it's something where time is you're bound
there's a
by
deadline.
Time.
Yeah,
then it does make
the
that.
thing.
But that is for sure.
Because I feel like his idea is so much more true for men.
Yeah. Well, and you're so right, because I think, it's like the idea that we're going to have the midlife crisis at 40. That doesn't necessarily happen at that age for other people, and it's like not the same. Which I don't even like that term to begin with.
What do you like?
Well, I don't like implying that at one point in your life that you have like a crisis to look forward to, or that you just have one. That I feel like this
Right.
kind of argues that no, you're going to have like these major life quakes, like 1 in 10.
I like that. Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like when there's that pressure of like, is this oh my God, I'm having a midlife crisis. I don't know. I feel like maybe that's just for like the guy who like gets a sports car and
I think
dates
you're
the
right,
22-year-old.
though, that it's so limiting whenever someone just sort of gives you this generic idea of what your life will hold, because that's not the reality, that it's up and down, and just like the grieving process.
Yeah.
But
So
I think that could be helpful to be reminded of all that.
And he said that so all these life cycles and the next part, like the signature finding that was the big takeaway, these like 1 in 10 big life quakes lead to these big transitions, like you get divorced, you move, like it's a big transition. And there's this feeling, and it was so beautiful because in this article, which I will definitely be linking, and like even the book too, which I totally want to read now, he interviews people and he talks about, what they felt like in the transition process.
Okay.
And how so many people were like, why isn't it better yet? Why am I not sad anymore? Why am I still, struggling through this? And in all of his research, the signature finding was that the average length of time that these transitional phases took was 5 years.
What?
That means that we spend half of our adult life in that state.
Why?
And you or
Can't
someone
we do
you know is
anything
going
to
through one right
mitigate
now. Well, I feel like I did read in there that it did talk about, oh my God, I can't even remember what it said about why. I mean, part of me just wants to say what you always tell me, which is like acceptance.
I know.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's what this whole pandemic has been. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, you can't change it.
Yeah. Yeah. And the one of the things they say is that, you know, like this is in other cultures, it's, you know, kind of embraced, you know, and they, in Italy, they have a phrase for it, which, you know, I won't even say. It's like, maybe I could pronounce it. Lupus in fabula? Maybe something like that. You probably don't have to go as high at the end, you know, like a...
I like that, though.
Like ridiculous. But it basically means like the fairy tale of our lives. And like that is, it's there are going to be these dramatic moments, this understanding that...
Is he arguing, though, that just knowing that there are these earthquakes and this pattern is the key to accepting it? Or are there strategies beyond that?
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's like this is one of those you got to read the book for that.
Right.
Because it talks about like how it then goes deeper into how these, of course, like we said, transitions are not linear. They take longer than you think. Oh, but this was really sweet. But not longer than you need. You need however long it takes. That's just like, see, you even when you just know that, it's like... Yeah.
You can be more forgiving of yourself.
Yeah, so he interviewed one man who was married, and then he ended up and he had two kids, but he was so unhappy, and he got a divorce, and then he moved to San Francisco, and then he came out as gay, and then he started his new job, and then he became got a promotion and became more stable, and the whole transformation took like 6 years, and now he's in this really wonderful place. But we're so like hard on ourselves during that transition time that, you know, and now that even makes me think of when we were talking about being alone, how that I wonder if we even draw out that time even longer if we're hard on ourselves and don't have that self-compassion during those.
It's what you say about, like, suffering equals time, whatever you said.
Yep. Pain. Yep. Suffering is pain times resistance.
Right. So if you're, like, being hard on yourself, mad, that you're only prolonging it.
Yes. Yes.
One thing you should definitely not prolong is the amount of time it takes you to ship something, and that's why Stamps.com is freaking great.
There you go. Get back to living.
Get back to living. You know, we're all adjusting to the crazy world that we live in now, but some places are making it easier, and that one of those examples is Stamps.com, because you can ship everything directly from your home or your office just by printing out the postage that you need on demand, and then you avoid another errand that you probably don't have time for. And now they offer UPS services with discounts up to 62% and no residential surcharges. So if you put the information into Stamps.com about your package, it'll tell you whether the USPS or UPS is cheaper, which is so great. And then you just print out any postage for any letter, package, or any class of mail, anywhere you want to send it, put it in your mailbox, and the mail carrier will pick it up. It's a no-brainer because you save time and money. You get 5 cents off every stamp and up to 62% off USPS and UPS shipping rates. Right now, our listeners get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale without any long-term commitment. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in Brain Candy. That's Stamps.com. Enter Brain Candy.
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, I think just like the point is knowing that we need to give ourselves some grace, and we need to spend time mastering the transitional periods. Mm-hmm. You know?
Well, and I noticed during this time, I feel like I've learned so much, and that I have had to do that with myself. You have to forgive yourself for ways in which you don't feel like you're living up to your own standards. And that has helped me, I think, become more forgiving of other people as well.
Yeah.
And realizing just that we're all in the same boat. There's nobody that's not. And so you can really have more compassion if you get into that mindset with yourself, too.
Yes.
At least that, in my case, that's what I felt.
Yes. Yes. There's a quote in here that says, William James said it best, life is in the transitions. We can't ignore the essential times of life. We can't wish them or will them away. We have to accept them, name them, mark them, share them, and eventually convert them into fuel for remaking our life stories. That's
I love
pretty.
that phrase, life is in the transitions. That's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because it really is. It's like, it's basically that it's not the destination, it's the journey. Mm-hmm. You know? Again,
right,
if we say it all the time, there's a reason why that's a cliche.
Well, because if you died and someone were giving your eulogy,
Yes.
the things that they would point out at the time were likely either painful or you were like sort of wishing away. Even like a wedding, it's an exciting period of time, but it's also quite stressful. You know, when you get married and then you're transitioning to being a married person, all of that stuff's the hard stuff in life, but it's the stuff that people will remember, you know?
Yeah.
Like when you said that guy came out as gay, that's notable, but I bet it was really painful for him.
Absolutely. This is like such, one thing I ask clients, I ask, anybody, friends, whenever they ask me for advice. If you can think of the thing that you're most proud of, like whatever it is, just think of the thing that you're most proud of. And then think of how easy or hard that
Right.
thing was to get or achieve.
Right, right,
There's your
Truly.
answer.
right.
The joy is clearly in, because if you don't name, like, that's why the lottery winners are,
There's
think,
always like
that curse
problem.
or that.
Right.
They're always that problem because it doesn't hold the same, or
Like
sometimes
they
I'll
didn't have
use
to work for it.
Or sometimes I'll use the analogy of, or metaphor of, it's like sledding. Like you have to climb the hill
Yeah.
and then you get
have
to the
the fun
top
part.
and then you have the fun part. And then I guarantee you, like, it's more fun riding down if you've climbed up than if you, like, took the gondola. I mean, I know you would try to tell me it's not, but that's what our brain does, is it needs to give us a reward for the work that we put in.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And true.
like,
And I bet everybody listening can think of the thing they're proudest of and how
Yes.
it wasn't easy to acquire.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's always like that. So that's like, that's like the motto. I told you this was going to be more of the brain than the candy.
I love your brain, Sarah.
Yes. Oh,
Got a
I
real
love your
sexy
brain,
brain over there.
Susie. I also love how the kids are writing to Lego because they're angry.
Why?
Yeah. I swear, this next generation,
Yeah.
they're great.
Yeah.
And I saw this. I promise I will get to why they are writing to Lego in a
Right.
sec. But I keep seeing all these memes everywhere
Yeah.
about how, generation, like the Z generation, is that what we're calling them? Yes.
Yeah, right.
They make fun of millennials because they drink all the time.
I did read that.
Is this like a thing?
Yeah, like they think, why are you guys obsessed with wine and stuff? Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
That is like hilarious. I swear to God, after I saw that meme, is when I was like, oh yeah, I'll go for a whole week without drinking. I'll show those fucking Generation
God.
Zers. And I'm still good. I'm doing
Yeah.
great.
I wonder, though, how it happened, unless it's just like every other trend where if something's cool to one group, then the next group will reject it.
That's why I swear my kids are going to be like, tattoos are so lame.
Honestly, I think my prediction is Sarah's child will be like Alex P. Keaton on Family
Yes.
Ties. It'll be like a Republican, like...
Oh my God,
Super.
no.
Yep.
Ah!
Sorry.
Oh, because they can't even rebel by being a jock. That won't work because I'm into that. And
Yeah.
Ren's athletic.
It's like how Lincoln hates reading. I mean, it's like a knife in the
Oh
heart.
my God. That's so true.
It's going to stretch you as a person, Sarah. You got to learn to love them anyway.
But you know what? Who needs... Yeah, I do. They will. Oh my gosh, that'll be it. No, my kid won't care about science.
Or art, like...
Or
Oh my God.
Yeah. No. Gosh. Whatever. But we'll be really like, what if I get a misbehaved like a child who's
hates rules.
Like, hey, can I teach that out of him? You'd think I can, but like, I'm telling you, I was a rule follower. My brother, not so much. So I'm gonna.
What if your kid hates your chore chart?
Stop it.
Sarah's one parenting plan so far is that she's going to make this really elaborate chore chart.
Listen, it doesn't need to be elaborate. And also, I am fully supported in this because when Ren and I moved in together, we were discussing the division of labor, and his solution was a chore chart.
Wow.
His solution, not mine.
See, you're soulmates, that's all.
I know. That's what I'm saying, man. When he told me that, I looked him in the eye, and I said, I really do think I said, like, I always, because sometimes he'll say that, I'll be like, I always knew I was in love with you.
Yeah.
But I really, really know in this moment now. Like, and I think I just leaned over and kissed him because I'm like, that is the
key to your heart.
Yes. How did he even know? But any hoodles. Let's get back to these kids these
okay.
Gen Zers.
Yes.
Who are always like fighting for the right thing with like environmental stuff.
Yes.
And they do not like the amount of waste that Lego has created.
Yes.
Like Lego's single-use plastic bags. No bueno.
Well, I know that they switched, right, to paper bags now.
Yeah, so I don't know. Is it official? Is it out?
Yeah, the paper bags they're switching to for the little inside the box thing.
Oh, and I did see that they're looking to make bricks out of sustainable materials by 2030.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
all packaging sustainable.
Of the bricks.
But the bricks are the problem.
Of course, how silly. I never even thought about the bricks themselves.
And the problem with the bricks is that they're made from that type of plastic. Oh my gosh. When a while back, I was giving you those like 7 things of recycling that like you're probably doing terrible, and I was doing every single one of them.
Yeah.
And so I really started to like look, and I've been looking up I looked up plastic one night, like different kinds of plastic. And when I found out about I was like, oh, God, that is so not good. It's a single-use plastic that is like most children's toys are made out of.
Yep.
And
it's awful.
It's so many Legos.
What do they call that? An endocrine disruptor. I think that's what it is. Plastic. And so kids are chewing on and sucking on all this crap.
Oh my God. An endocrine. Yes. Yep. Oh, that's terrifying to me.
Guess how many. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, go.
I just never thought of the Legos themselves as problematic because they last for friggin' ever, and it's great.
I know. Guess how many it's estimated that they've produced since the company started in 1949.
God. I feel like it's as close to infinity as you can get. That's not a thing.
I love that that's your answer, though. But yes,
600 billion.
You're close for billions. 440 billion.
Wow,
that's so much.
And we can still use them all.
And they're like, and they're estimated to linger in the environment for about 1,000 years.
But who's throwing them away?
I don't know. Anybody who's stepped on one and is pissed off. And it's like, that's it. The Legos go.
I've had it.
I don't know. I love Legos, though.
Because they retain their value, too. On the resale market on eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, they sell them by the pound.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, you can get, if you're selling your Legos, you can get a lot of money for them.
Oh, my God.
That's why I'm like, who's throwing these away? Nobody.
It's a gold mine. Yeah, but do you really think that there are 440 billion Legos out there and they're all in circulation?
Right. They should make a new Great Wall of China just out of Lego bricks.
I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea. I do there's oh my God, I can't remember his name. There's okay. this is the asterisk that I do like some street art. I don't want people to be like, oh, Sarah, I thought you hate street art. I do not hate street art. I love street art. I just don't like when people are like,
you don't like gimmicks.
I don't like gimmicks, and I don't like when then they like take it like are I don't know, trying to ruin what that art is. So I have to say that first. But there's a street artist who like covers things in Legos, and I freaking love it.
Now that is something we all love.
Yes, everything.
Yes.
I've never even been to Legoland, which
Oh,
I
it's
say
so
is like a
fun.
thing I should go to. But I'm like, at the time was probably
I love Legoland. You should go.
No children. Yeah, well, not now.
Right, I guess not. It's probably not even open, but like I love it because it's so small. It doesn't, even though it's built upon commercialism, it doesn't have that same feeling.
Oh my God, that's so because they're only selling you one thing, and the whole thing is that, so they don't have to like.
It's like wholesome. And if you bring
I like
little
that.
men, like little Lego men, then you can trade with all the workers.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Oh, those kind of things are so cute.
And they have stations all over, like they're secret, but not really. It's like an open secret, kind of like the In-N-Out secret menu. And you can swap with anything in the little case as well. It's so cute.
I love that. See, I love, this is like little joy things. I mean,
Yes.
I understand, just like you said, that it's like added, but it's different for some reason. And like, I feel like maybe people are catching on how to do this, like need to start adapting those kind of things to like make it social distancing friendly and like,
we got a long way to go in that regard.
I saw the coolest freaking thing that I'm so mad I didn't know about a million years ago. This, I don't even know what it is. It's like a haunted house, but a street that they took like a historic district in LA. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
Oh my God, it's so cool. It's called like the Halloween, drive-through Halloween or something like that. But some like very historic street where like a bunch of like super creepy haunted houses that they use for movies.
Oh, that's cool.
And they turned it into like Ghostbusters and it's drive-through and you buy tickets to it. And it's sold out, and it's like probably over now. But it like, I'm like, we need more stuff like that are like the little roadside-y attractions because like we've been saying, anything brings me joy right now. Like Legos covering a fire hydrant would make me giggle. And so like I just feel like I need to know about all this. I live in LA. I feel like these things are around cities, right?
Someone was saying that they started to cry because their kid was talking about the upcoming, Christmas holiday and was saying, like, hey, can we still drive through, like Candy Cane Lane or whatever is in your town where they go all out?
Yeah.
And she started crying because it was like the first thing she could say, yes, we can do that the whole year.
Oh.
But you're right. We need more stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, and there are things like this. Mm-hmm. We just have to like think of them.
Yeah,
I feel like that
reimagine
geo-tracking thing could be really fun. I should get into that.
We need to get on board with this stuff because a lot of it's already out there. We just didn't need it or whatever.
And I just got to create a new list. We all do have to create a new list of the fun things that like fill your cup and bring you joy. Yeah. And all of that. And I really do think I am going to take up Legos now that we've been talking about this because I swear when we talked about puzzles and I did that, I had never done a puzzle piece. Like, I'm not kidding, Suze. In my life, I've never done a puzzle over 200 pieces.
That is something I would not have predicted about you.
I know. Nobody would have.
Were you actively avoiding them?
I just know that I was the kind of person who, if I started, had to finish it.
Right.
And you need space, you need time, you need
true.
And I couldn't. And it might be one of those where if it would get in the way of other things because the puzzle would become more important than
it's just
real
funny
responsibilities.
On the show, you're known as a puzzle aficionado.
Yeah, but like different kind, like jigsaw,
Right.
like specific. I was not a jigsaw puzzler,
right?
Puzzler? But puzzler. I don't know. I feel like that's what you call it.
Yeah, you're right.
Somebody who does puzzles. But I did that puzzle, and it was so. I had no idea the joy that doing a puzzle would bring.
And I saw like people who had jars, clear jars filled with one color of Lego, and they had one for each color. And it looked so pretty in their house.
Yes.
And then,
Susie, you know whose idea that is?
Home Edit.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a lot of good ideas. And I also love the idea, too, of like when people are over, they can reach in and use them.
It's great. I love it.
It's fun.
Yes.
I don't know
And
if it was
so
there.
beautiful.
It's not like they invented it.
Right, I know. Look at you. You're like, they didn't invent it. I love that. It's so funny. But yeah, I could totally. I can't believe Lincoln's Legos. That's fun to say. I can't believe Lincoln's Legos are not lined up like that
I know.
in
They're
rainbow
just in a
color
big
fashion.
bin.
That seems like very on brand for you.
Yeah, I would like to do that. Maybe someday.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Organizing.
I'll work on that, Sarah.
Basically, we love these little kids who apparently like were the ones who wrote in, and enough wrote in to get them to start changing.
That's crazy. That's why I didn't
Yeah.
think that's what you were going to say about kids are writing in, because
The,
it was effective.
It sure was. The CEO of Lego said, and I think this was a while back, he said it, "We've received many letters from children about the environment asking us to remove single-use plastic packaging. And they've been exploring alternatives for some time. The passion and ideas from children inspired us to begin the change." I mean,
I'm so glad.
Shout out to the kiddies.
Yeah,
who are just
because
doing the right thing.
I love the zero waste lifestyle, but I really do feel like the step up needs to happen from corporations. Like Lego.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I think about the amount of, like, when I throw stuff away, I don't know what else to do with it, but I have become really good at recycling.
Yeah.
And I think so. Only because I paid more attention to it.
Yeah,
You know?
it does take an effort. That's the thing. And a lot of people feel maxed out right now. And that's why I'm like, listen, again,
you're right.
have mercy
You're
on
right.
yourself. But
Yes.
let's hold the companies accountable, because they're making the bulk of it. And then
Yes.
they're just making the consumer feel guilty about using the product.
For sure. Like, we're going to do. I know. I say
Pat
all that.
it.
And really, it's just me trying to control. I'm like, if I
right,
maybe I'll fix all the world's problems. Maybe there'll be no more fires in California if I recycle my number 5 plastic in the right bin.
I mean, the truth is every little bit helps.
Yeah, I
But-
try to do that. What can you do? I'm not perfect. No, who is?
But you really are. Let's wind it down, Sarah.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Let's
Just
put that
thinking
on your
about
vision board.
how, like, oh my God, I'm going to make a vision board.
What if when we see your vision board, it's just like people in Uggs and like
pumpkin
drinking
spice lattes?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. No, I think it's going to be a lot of nature because we know the importance of that.
Yeah.
I think it's probably won't have any cats, right-handed or left-handed,
Yeah, no. Or ambidextrous.
or ambidextrous. But
It
maybe
might
dogs.
teach you how to deal with change
Yes. Oh, it definitely will. My transitional times.
and your life quakes.
My life quakes. I love that word. So if you're going through a life quake, which, like, who isn't? Because it did say half of our life we would be in some sort of transitional time
Yeah.
through those. Just, like, give yourself a break and, like, listen to the podcast.
And remember what you're most proud of, which is probably something you worked hard for.
And probably something that was, like, a struggle and you probably cried about and it was tough.
Yeah.
Oh, good. High five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
High five.
Good job.
Good times. We did good
All
today,
right,
Sarah. I'm
guys.
proud
We
of
did.
us.
I feel like that. Feel warm.
We'll
My
see
heart
you
feels
next
full.
time.
And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying this podcast, try giving my podcast, Miraculous Mamas, a listen. Miraculous Mamas is a safe and inclusive place for you to find a huge amount of educational and relatable information about childbirth and parenting with absolutely everything in between. Each week we discuss important topics, share great resources, hear from experts, and listen to birth stories, all in an effort to bring you reassuring and informative experiences so that you know that you are not alone. That's all on Miraculous Mamas podcast. Look for the podcast link in the show notes or simply search for Miraculous Mamas on your podcast app.